There are 3 keys to finishing any creative project, no matter what the circumstances are. But first, I have to let you know there's a cost for creativity. Yesterday was the restart to my indie film hustle, and boy oh boy, for months we haven't shot any scenes, just rehearsed, planned, and prayed. And yesterday, the cast and crew were ready and excited. There was work to do still. But here's cost number 1. They're tired. We're all tired because we're not finished, because guess what? We haven't even started. Meaning there's an energy equation. Stay with me. Say there's an energy equation for a reason. I want you to imagine something. It's 3 a.m. in the mountains. This part of filming was called the escape sequence shoot. We were in Calabasas in an area called the Hidden Hills. Even though that's a story location in my script, I was really in the real Hidden Hills. But don't take my story seriously. Yes, it's fiction. The Hidden Hills is not the way I create it to be. So anyway, it's 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning. We're in the mountains behind incredible Courtney's house, her beautiful mansion. It's freezing, and somewhere out there, guess what? I'm pretty sure there were coyotes, and I'm pretty sure the coyotes was watching us. We heard eerie sounds of them howling. There were crew members looking around nervous. I was like, oh, this is day, I don't know, I've lost count, but I'm sure it's on the call sheet. But anyway, we've been working on Dog Belly for over 2 years, maybe more. We restarted, regrouped, lost crew members, gained new ones, and pushed through every obstacle you can imagine. I have really learned the power of not giving up, but not to say that it doesn't take a long time to make indie films. There are films with huge budgets that took years to make, so I'm not gonna feel bad. But last night, we were shooting the escape sequence. This is about the character Julian, the moment when him and his wife finally have a chance to run from the nightmare that has consumed their lives. So, welcome to the real creative life in the movie Dog Belly. On this episode, where I usually talk about passion meets persistence, where family and team members become great and tight to pursue their dreams. And we go a little further, and guess what? We give more than just the art. I'm going to help you create what's called stretch muscle. So anyway, in the Dog Belly, this is the journey that teaches us about not giving up. And that's what this episode is about, of course, not giving up. So before I take you into last night's shoot, you need to understand the journey that brought us here. Dog Belly isn't just a film. It's a testament to what happens when you refuse to give up on your vision. I don't care what it is. I gave up on so many things because I didn't have the stretch muscle. I didn't have the bandwidth to focus outside of survival, because living in LA, y'all know, it ain't no joke. So I guess at the soul of it all, Dog Belly tells the story of Julian Richards, a man trapped in a psychological circus created by Kiana Salt. She's a woman suffering from dissociative identity disorder. Her darkest alter ego, Dog Belly, doesn't just want control. She wants to eliminate Kiana and every other personality living inside her mind. Yes, this character is a trip, but don't hate. It's okay. I studied this disorder, and yes, I added some fiction to this role, and this is just what happened. It came out. So the escape sequence we shot last night comes after a wedding scene. It's a ceremony that was supposed to be Julian, one of the characters, his moment of peace. I'm not giving away too much. I keep it pretty vague when I share with you my story world, but because you're my creative family, you deserve a sneak peek, and you deserve to see how I built this amazing project. So anyway, one of the characters, Kevin, he was hired to create chaos and turn the wedding into a nightmare. Julian realizes that him and his wife need to run. Okay, so here's the thing about escaping psychological horror. You're never really sure if you're running towards freedom or deeper into the trap. So if you're a screenwriter, you're a storyteller, and you ever want to create a thriller, that's your key. We don't want the audience to know if they're escaping to freedom or if they're running into a deeper trap. But for the most part of the movie, we gonna keep them running into a deeper trap. Anyway, we started Dog Belly over a while ago, and my son and I co-direct this movie. We had a vision, and I wanted this story to be told because I feel like it appeals to many audiences, moviegoers, cult following, thrillers, people who like horrors. It really has it's a multi-genre film, which I like to call a masterpiece because you weave in many genres to tell a story. So anyway, during the filming, we lost a lot of things. Locations, actors that couldn't keep going, crew members, we had to reshoot things, restart. There was a lot of challenges in producing and chaos and things that you have to get through. And definitely you have to understand how to resolve conflict. So we kept choosing other ways to resolve conflict than the ways that maybe should have been chosen because we needed to go through it to learn. You need to have something you're passionate about. You need to watch yourself fail at certain things during the journey so that you can gain the muscle to get better at it, to use it the next go round. When you wake up the next day, you make a new plan, a stronger plan. You are stronger than you think. You just have to use that stretch muscle. So anyway, call time was early in the day. So we were here early and we were here late. Okay. So because the sequence demands darkness, isolation, and the eerie quality that only exists in the dead of the night, we had to stay late. That's the cost of creativity. We had to be in the mountains. We had to have this exotic location that can appeal to all audiences. So when you're creating your passion projects, you want to find things that I like to call conceits. Conceits is what separates your project from someone else's. What can you do different than Steven Spielberg? What can I do different than the movie Misery? Because I did name my movie Dog Belly. Misery has a new face. So the reason why, you have to watch it and you'll find out. Anyway, I've been with Dog Belly, this movie, since the beginning, and it's lived in my head, in my heart, because I wrote it. And I had to find undiscovered talent to bring out these characters because I wanted people who were passionate about their purpose and their acting ability. And you're gonna see I got some real good talent, amazing talent. And the commitment, I couldn't ask for better. So I'm definitely a part of something special, and this is not just my movie, this is our movie. This is what happens when you build with intention. People feel the mission. They want to be a part of it. Even at 3 a.m. in the cold, my actors had a great energy. I had a group called the Strange Girls, and these girls were awesome. These are teenagers. They were professional. They didn't complain, not one time. It was cold. They weren't able to use their coats in the scene. But one of the most chilling elements of this sequence for the Strange Girls is these ethereal, unsettling figures. They have to be by mannequins and doll heads, and they sing Ring Around a Rosie. It represents a psychological trap, the inescapable nature of trauma. That's what my Strange Girls are. You're gonna love them. Played by Ami Parker, McKenna Burns, and Sydney Parker. These are some amazing girls. They're actually, two of them are the daughters of the Incredible Courtney, which you'll learn more about the Incredible Courtney soon on another episode. Anyway, I want to tell you honestly, I was so impressed how these girls played terrified. This is what I dream about as actors bring my characters to life. When I write these amazing stories and I see people put their talent into what I saw, their vision into what my vision, and there's no greater gift. This is amazing. Not to mention these coyotes howling in the background, guys. That's free sound design. Yes. So rehearsing these scenes prepared me for the actual environment. So the uneven ground of the mountains, the cold seeping into our bones, the real sounds of wilderness around us, I was a little prepared for it because I went to the Incredible Courtney's house days before so we could rehearse. And, I gave in a little bit and went inside when it got cold, even though the actors had to stay outside. This is amazing. You can't pay for people that have this strong creative muscle that they will do what's needed to bring the vision to life. The person that plays Vicky, the heart of her, she is amazing. Julian Richards, oh, you gonna know him. Tony Tonelli, Oliver, unstoppable. Anyway, they were preparing for their scenes. The young lady that plays Dog Belly, oh my gosh, she is amazing. Laura Jacqueline. You guys are gonna love this project. I know you guys already support me and you're gonna try and accept what I create, but it is my first project, but I'm so happy to share with you what I'm learning through building this beast that I like to call this movie because I've been working on it for so long. So this escape scene isn't just physical. It's basically about the character reclaiming his life. Going into the mountains is a step toward freedom or death. He doesn't know which though. He don't know which one. His wife is his anchor. She just discovered her husband is trapped in this psychological nightmare. So she's just terrified and she's just trying to help him. So we've seen this, So You Think, before, but you're gonna see how I do it. The sequence of her proving she'll fight for him. She has to forgive him because he's in this mess because of a bad decision. I won't tell you what that was. You have to watch to find out. But what you're watching is a raw performance. These actors committed fully. The fear you see, some of it is real. We're in the wilderness for real at 3 a.m. That's real. Vulnerability translated into real art. That's the art of creativity. But the coldness, the wondering if the animals are near, that's the cost of creativity. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. You have to stay up when others are sleeping. You have to work when others are not working. The thermometer was 38 degrees. Crew members was wrapped in blankets in between takes. Let's talk about the cold. 38 degrees does not sound that bad, right? But you're standing still for hours. You're trying to operate equipment with numb fingers when your actors need to look terrified, but their bodies are just trying to stay warm. It's a real challenge. So yes, the crew's passing around thermometers. We have hand warmers, jackets, in between takes. Yes, the crew knows how to take care. And yes, we give the actors coats in between takes, and hot drinks. But ultimately, we just had to push through. We had to survive, but also with intrinsic motivation. We had to push beyond average. So that means you don't want to complain because you don't want to invite that type of energy while you're being creative. This is a special project, requires stretch muscle. Remember I told you about stretch muscle earlier? So everyone who wants to be great or really leave a legacy in the lane or the creative space that they're trying to show the world that they want to embrace, they have to have resilience. And we have to cross obstacles with a mindset of understanding how to use our stretch muscle. So using our stretch muscle is very important. So let's talk about those coyotes, guys. I knew they were in the mountains. We heard them before we all started shooting. And these are real mountains, right? We had to stop once, but just listen. I'm used to coyotes watching us because at Grey's, every time you wrap, they live around the lot where we shoot Grey's Anatomy. And they just watch us all go to our cars. So I may be numb to fear of coyotes. I'm not that scared, but don't get me wrong. We take care of our actors and we all have a real watch. When you hear a pack of coyotes that close, yes, your heart rate goes up. Everyone feels it and we make choices to be safe. But here's what I told the team. We're in their home, we're respectful, we're cautious, but we're not leaving. We're finishing this scene. We have enough protection. And you know what? That shared adversity brought us all closer together because everyone agreed on using their stretch muscle. Let's do what we gotta do. We don't see a coyote like within 100. We'd actually never seen them. We just heard them howl. Fear can divide a team though, or it can unify them. Last night, it unified us. We had each other's back, literally watching each other's backs while creating art. That is powerful. That I cannot complain. I mean, this journey has taught me so much, and every day, every shoot, every moment, I'm learning, and I'm also gaining more stretch muscle. So we have a sense of humor that we know we have to use when we have technical issues. We we build that with stretch muscles because we have to keep our mindset right. We have to keep supporting each other. And of course, I prayed before we shoot this scene. I prayed before I even went to set. I covered everyone who's working on the film, everyone who couldn't be there, every person ever blessed this film. I cover and I ask God to pray to cover them. Bless me with committed team members who want to show the world their gifts and talent. I pray for problem solving masters who are near, who can help us, who can show up when we have to resolve a conflict fast. I ask God to surround me with people who are intelligent enough to back us up. When my production supervisor, Joser, wasn't there, my coordinator, Patricia, wasn't there. So I had to pray for someone that could be in the moment for us and save us if we need it. And guess what? A friend of my son showed up and he just so happened to be a producer of music videos. So he was familiar with On That Life. When you have positive intention and you ask God to cover you, he will. All you have to do is your part. That's the creative problem solving. Do your part, give the rest to God. We didn't have a perfect situation at all the time, but we had a commitment to make it work. And that right there is the key. Those keys to creative resilience is the key. So I want you to think about that. I want you to understand that who's missing in your creative endeavor or your project, pray for the right tools, the right person, creative fam. I want you to understand if you're working on a passion project, if you're in year 2, year 3, year 10, if you're wondering if it's worth it, I want to give you 3 keys that got us through last night and the last 2 years. Every time we lost a crew member or a crew member lost a family member and we had to find replacements, that was resilient practice. Every time we reshot a scene because the first attempt didn't capture the vision, which this is a lot. We have to reshoot a lot of scenes. Every time we chose to keep going when stopping would have been easier, that's resilience practice. That's our stretch muscle. You have to have stretch muscle if you're going to get a dub. If your project is taking longer than you expected, if you've had to restart, if you're on version 6 of your business or your script or your product, you're not failing. You're practicing resilience. If you keep going, there's never a failure. Your practice is building something that you cannot be shaken up by. So write this down. Every setback is resilience training. Stretch muscle, every restart is proof you haven't quit. Resilience equals daily practice. DNA. This is key takeaway number 2, okay? I want to talk about how my crew was working together, lifting equipment, adjusting shot, actors supporting each other, being positive, having that energy that people need to be there and keep going. You can't do certain things alone, and this is one of them. Weakness, we can't have that. So last night when crew members who never worked on Dog Belly showed up, we only had one. She was amazing. She showed up with positivity, filled the role. That was teamwork. She watched, she learned, she dressed the strange girls. She was amazing. She's Melissa, my Melissa Pooh wardrobe, my costumer. She's her daughter. She filled in, bam, professional. She had the mindset we needed for teamwork, so she was able to grow and learn fast, moment to moment, how to operate, do continuity photos, everything I needed. So as the department head of hair on Grey's Anatomy, I had to lead a team every day. I don't get to just go there, do hair, and go home. I have to teach the team how to do normal hair and not overdo hair. We have to make people look like themselves, because in drama, you're not supposed to make them look like they just stepped out of a beauty salon. They have to look like just a blowout, like they threw their hair in a pony or color cut, whatever. We have to understand what the job requires to make the best decision for the product. So I had to be the kind of leader who make people want to step up. I had to motivate to build culture, not just call sheets and put them on a schedule. I had to show up for them and teach them what teamwork is. I have to remind them how to communicate clearly, how we appreciate each other, and we tell each other that publicly so we can collaborate. We have to protect their time and energy to make them feel seen and valued. When you do that, people don't just work for you, they work with you. And that multiplies your capacity exponentially, okay? hugging people. Hey, I'm not against it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little hug unless it's, whatever, if HR don't like it. But as far as Dog Belly, the film isn't mine, it's ours. We have been invested for so long. It's our project. I share this property with my team because they believed in it. They had the creative vision. They support me. They support my son. And this is amazing. God gave me the team I needed. He sent me people to move this vision along. So key number 3, and this one's critical. Creativity has an energy cost. And if you don't manage your energy, you can't sustain your creativity. What do I mean by the energy equation? It's simple. Every creative project requires physical energy, of course we know, like being on set at 3 a.m., operating equipment, staying alert, mental energy, which is problem solving, decision making, and holding the vision. We need emotional energy. We got to manage team dynamics, staying positive through setbacks. And of course, number 1, spiritual energy, staying connected to God. Why you're here. If your purpose is to be a great hairstylist, be in the moment, commit to that moment and show up. Leave a legacy. When I go to the theaters and I see my name in the credit, it means something. Some people burn out because they're withdrawing from their energy equation. They can't account without making deposits. They grind without rest. They give without receiving. They push without pause. So listen, we have to understand that once it's over, it's valued. You've done your legacy. What I've learned in these 2 years on this project, you have to protect your energy as fiercely as you protect your vision. That means rest is productive. Preaching myself to the choir. You have to schedule rest in your planner if you have to, okay? My crew, I have to make sure they break for lunch. I have to make sure they are positive and strategic. I have to keep the mood right. Sometimes we play music in between takes. We celebrate our small wins, not because we're naive, but because positive energy is efficient. Boundaries are necessary too, okay? Because on Grey's Anatomy, I have to give 100%, right? I am an employee. I get paid to run that department. So I have to make sure they stay motivated. I have to keep them in line because I'm in trouble for another adult if they're not in line. So sometimes you can meditate, pray before you go into your moment of leadership, of creating or strategically planning your project. You have to approach it like a marathon, not a sprint. That means pacing yourself, refueling, consistency, and keeping your mind focused and positive. Your project doesn't need you burn out, okay? It needs you sustained. Energy management is crucial. And that's really creative sustainability. So it's going to take planning. It's going to take focus and tunnel vision, but mostly, it's going to take sacrifice. We know that nothing easy is going to give you a big return, okay? You're going to be challenged. You're going to have to sacrifice. It's a lot. It's a cost. We just have to understand, what are we willing to pay for the return? So I want you to think about that. And I want you to take serious what you intend to finish, your passion project. I want you to journal a bit about how you're feeling in life and what this passion project means to you and what challenges are you willing to overcome. What cost are you willing? Are you understanding the energy equation? Are you understanding that you're going to have to lose sleep, be tired, but you're also going to have to find positivity in negative moments? You're going to have to find positivity in everything, basically, because anything that can go wrong, it will. So that is definitely, I'm not as shooken up when things go wrong this year as the year I started my film, because now I learned to prep and plan contingencies. So that's me understanding how to have more stretch muscle creatively. So I'm not afraid of things failing. I've already got a backup plan. I've already got resources. I've already researched what I need to do in case this happens. So I need the energy and the window to do all that so that I'm not beat down and shaken when something goes wrong. So what's the lesson from last night? From 2 years of Dog Belly? From every passion project that takes longer than you expected? The lesson is this: great work costs something. It costs time, it costs comfort, it costs energy. But if you're willing to pay the cost, if you're willing to practice resilience, build real teams, and manage your creative energy, you get something back that money cannot buy. You get the satisfaction of seeing your vision come to life. You get growth that only comes from pushing through hard things. You get the relationship forged in the fire of shared struggle. You build a creative family. You get to become the version of yourself that's capable of creating at the highest level. Bam. That is an amazing gift, right? Like, it's worth it to not give up, because once you finish, you will understand all three things of the cost of creativity. The energy equation, we talked about energy equation today, but there's two more. The second one is the vulnerability tax, and the third one is the identity shift. Now, I mix them around. I say identity shift first normally, but these are the cost of creativity that you're going to experience pieces of each one of these, or if not all, every journey of your passion project. Identity shift, vulnerability tax, and energy equation. We'll talk about the identity shift and the vulnerability tax on the next episode. It's now Sunday. I've slept and recovered, and I'm already planning our next shoot day, because this is the creative life. It's not a straight line. It's not always comfortable, and it definitely does not follow a tidy schedule. Technically, we just wrapped at Grays. So if you commit to 3 keys we talked about today: practicing resilience, building real teams, and managing your creative energy, you can sustain any passion project no matter how long it takes. And that, to me, that's worth every bit of your time. So to everyone out there grinding on your dream right now, the entrepreneurs in year 3 of building your business, the artists working on projects nobody understands, yet the creators who keep showing up even when progress feels slow, I see you. I'm with you. Keep going. Your project might take longer than you expected. I promise you're going to get back everything you put in sevenfold. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're building something real. Stretch muscle, and you understanding the cost. Something worth the wait. I'm going to see you in the next video, and I hope that you will understand what I said, because listen, being department head of Grey's Anatomy, creator of Dog Belly, and that's just 2 things. I didn't tell you about the other stuff. I want you to understand I have to pull stretch muscle on a daily. I want you to try to discover your stretch muscle. Keep creating, or start creating. And I want to see you in the next video. Stay committed and stay grateful. Most of all, tell God what you need. I promise you, He will give it to you. He will provide. Thank you for watching.